Hey, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of From an Idea to an OutSystems app. It's great to be here on the fifth episode of this series. I'm Bruno. This is Bazinga the dog channel, so as you can see, I'm not Bazinga. Bazinga is my dog. I'm using him because I don't want to be liable for anything in this channel. So anything that happens here will be pinned on him, so nothing will happen to me. So I think we have some familiar faces here today. So thank you for your support. How you hope you enjoy. So today's session will be about front end. We have started building our application. For those of you who are not familiar with the concept, so we're building a paddle personal coach application. With the idea is to store the matches that I play, and then give me some advices for the next game. So like having a personal coach. And we are going to build this. We started building this from scratch and from an episode one, and we are moving. And on today's episode, what we're going to do is we're going to transform in this kind of boring UI into something a little bit more appealing, and we're going to work on some front end techniques that I hope you enjoy. At least I like front end, so I'm a little bit suspicious on that. Okay, so let's start going on Service Studio. So this, as you can see, it's a normal scaffolding screen. Okay, on the home screen, let's start changing this right away. So the first things that I want to do, is I want to have another background. I want to change this a little bit. Instead of starting it right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Chrome Dev tools, in order to start working this to have my preview here, and then after that I can move to Service Studio. So first things first, what I want to have is a more elegant background. Okay, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a gradient. Okay, so I'm gonna share some tools that I use. Okay, I have this CSS gradients tool here. It has already been here. It's been configured here with some values. Okay, so we need to start when we're building our screens. We need to start with this color scheme. Okay, so I want to use this color scheme on my application. The application will be in tones of blue, and the text, for example, will be more in the tones of white. Okay, so for the background, I want to use these colors here. To for the gradient. Okay, and to show how to build a gradient, we can use this helper. Okay, so we have a gradient comes from into colors. Okay, so we want to go from this color here. Okay, from a more brighter color to a darker color. Okay, that's the kind of gradient that I want. So let's do that. So I want to start from 2580. Oops, 2580 D3, right? And I want to end on. I'm gonna be a little bit smarter, so I'm just gonna pick the color here and just copy this instead of doing what I was doing. That was a little bit dumb. And on the stop color, what I want to do is to have the full color. Okay, so this will be my gradient. Now I can imply on the change the direction. So you see it's 19 degrees, so it's coming from left to right. So if I change this to 180, it will change from top to bottom. So I have already here the numbers that I want. So I want to 225. Okay, cool. So I want something on the diagonal. Okay, so I got here my background. Okay, so now what I want to do is actually here I want to change my background. Okay, and let's check what has a background here. Okay, so let's put on the body. Okay, let's go here to body. Let's create here that selector in CSS, and we can copy paste this to here. Okay, So on the body, we have this background, okay? Now we're not seeing anything here because there's already a definition of the color of the body, and we need to override it, okay? So to do that, we need to override the root variables, okay, that we have. And in this case, it's the color. Well, I know this, but I can show you where this is, okay? The color background body, right? And let's say it's transparent because I want to see everything that I got, okay? Okay, so this should override the color. Okay, let me just quickly move to Service Studio. Let's, instead of just breaking this screen, well, let's break the screen. I think if no one's against breaking the screen, let's kill the screen. Okay, so let's remove everything we got here. Okay, cool. Let's remove this, right? And now let's on the CSS, let's on the theme. Okay, so now it's not about you know, best practices in terms of where I'm going to put the CSS. I'm going to leave that to another session. So I'm just going to build stuff here, and on the next session I'll refactor it in terms of best practices. So as you can see here, we have now the gradient, right? And so we need to do some more things. So let me just publish, so I can you know, so I can work on this on the UI. Okay, so there's a lot of things that I need to start changing here just to have, you know, the basic of what I want from my application. And let's use let's continue using, you know, Google the developer tools from Chrome, because it's really helpful, and I'm gonna show some tips and tricks on how to use it in a better way. So it's taking a little bit to publish. Maybe it's from the hour. There's a lot of people accessing the servers and publishing. Sorry. So here we go. Okay, here it is, right? Okay, so other things that I want to do on my header, I want to remove this. Sorry. This header. So, sorry. Let's go. And let's go to the header, and on my header, right, as simple as this. Let's just go to header, it's easier. Sometimes the selector aren't the best ones. Just select that that the background is going to be transparent again. Okay, cool. Now one of the things that I want, it's to change, you know, to change the body, the color, all of the color. So I'm going to do it on the HTML. So it's going to be really drastic. So everything that has text on it should be white. Okay, so on the HTML, what I'm going to say is that the color is white. Okay, now first thing that I want to share, instead of using white, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the variables that we already have on OutSystems UI. So on this OutSystems UI, we have the style guide that you can check. So it's on outsystemsui.outsystems.com, and you can come here to styles and explore the styles. And if you see colors is very interesting because you have a lot of different colors, right? And you can find the color that you need, and you can use it, and you should use the classes or the variables, because this is what will allow you to keep your theme clean. So if you change a variable, change everywhere that you're using that color, and not just on a place. You don't need to search and replace all. You just replace in one place, and then everything changes accordingly. This is valid for colors, for sizes, for everything. I will be consulting this, so this is why I have this open. So I want this, you know, white. So instead of doing that white, I'm just going to use the color neutral 0. And in here, instead of doing this, I'm just going to say it's a var, because this is a CSS variable, right? And I'm going to say it's this one. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's move this to Service Studio here. Let's do it on, you know, on the theme. I have my root. I don't want to change anything below that. So I've got here, I've got my body, it's before my header, right? I'm just gonna try to keep at least the hierarchy here. And well, more things that I need to do. So I want to remove this, I want to remove this, and I want to remove this, okay? Deleting all the way. Now, on the title, I want to give my style so something a little bit more, stronger. So I can come here to typography and I can check whatever I want to use. And for this, maybe I can use, I think on the topic, on the top, let's just use, adding 3. Now this is the class, right? So all I need to do is to come here and on the style classes, I'm gonna just, adding 3. Okay, oops. Okay, adding 3. Okay, now is it strong enough? I think so. So with that, let's just publish this really quick. And well, we took a little bit. Well, it's always rough to start, but now we have something a little bit different on our, on our applications, like those house decoration, renovation, TV shows. So as you can see, we have here the gradient. We still have a little bit here the shadow, the drop shadow that we have on the header, and then we have the rest of the body. Okay, cool. Now, first thing that I want to do is when I open my application, so this is the Paddle Personal Coach, I want to be, kind of greeted by the coach. So it's the main character of our application, okay? So to do that, I have here, let me just import really quick this image, okay? It's the coach, okay? This is my coach, or at least this virtual coach. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to want him to appear on the screen, right? In the center of the screen, kind of greeting and just, moving himself more to the left for to hear his first question or his message. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so let's start adding stuff here. So on the content, I'm just gonna insert here a container. Okay, and I'm gonna style this, and I'm gonna call this the coach wrapper. Okay, because it's gonna be on top inside this wrapper. That will have everything that is about the coach. Now, other thing that I want is, to create space around this. So I'm just going to give it the margin base. Okay, margin base, right? How do I know that margin base, gives this space all around? And what does this mean? If I come here again, on the spacing, as you can see, we have the concepts of, well, none, extra small, small, and the base. So everything that we can use or we need to use the spaces, always let's use the classes or the variable names, because if I want to change everything on my application, I just need to change in one place and I don't need to change anywhere else. Okay, so moving to here, I have now my my coach wrapper, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add inside my image. Okay, not rocket science so far, right? So let's just add here the coach, and the coach, let's just give him also a style so it's easier for me to manipulate the CSS. And I'm going to call this the I don't know, EMG, so we know it's an image from the coach. And it's I want to make this round, and to make this round I have here some overview. I don't know where that is. Shadow spacing. Where is that? I know we have some. No, it's not here. Well, I don't know how I do. I know this is documented, but what I know is if you say that this is image circle, this is documented somewhere. I need to find it. Circle. Okay, on the image itself, this will make the image round. Now we can see it because it's transparent around the image, right? It's a PNG, but you can see here that it's already rounded. So let me just delete here. Okay, so if you see it's circle, it's doing a circle around. Okay, so let's just publish so we can manipulate here the CSS on the browser. I think it's a little bit easier to work on. Okay, I could be doing that here with the preview, but I have to say that I prefer to use the the dev tools. Okay. Now going here, let's just refresh this really quick. We're gonna see, you know, a coach here. So really, this is something really big, right? Okay. So let's start with the coach wrapper. Okay. So, okay, the coach wrapper. Okay, we don't need the margin base here. The coach wrapper. What do I want to have? Okay, so I want this to have, you know, a position relative, because so this is the wrapper. I will move things around this div. So I'm going to say this is relative. So the other things inside of it could be a position absolute, and I'll show you why. And I'm going to just set up a height here of 150 pixel. Okay. Now I have this defined, right? And now I need also to define my image coach. Okay. So the image coach, yeah, right. I'm gonna just add here this one. Let's remove all of this. We don't need this much detail. Okay, the image coach. What do I want to have? So first thing, I want to have a background color here. Okay, so the background color that I want, you know, it could be white, right? But I wanted to give, you know, some transparency. So instead of using just the white, I'm going to use RGBA, because with RGBA, I can define the color. So it's 255, 255, 255, except that now I want to say that I'm going to just have, you know, 10% of the opacity, if that's to say, okay? Now I want to center this also, or let's say the width, okay? So what I want is, in terms of the width, I want it to occupy, well, not with the 100%, right? I could say 100%. But what I want to do is I want to do a calculation. I want to use 100% minus 80 pixel, okay? Because I want to leave 40 to each one of the sides, okay? Now, as you can see, it's already rearranged, but now I want to center it, okay? So to center it, I'm going to say that it has the position absolute. And I'm going to do a small, I wouldn't say trick, but it's a way a good way to center absolute divs with position absolute is to give, not top, left 50%, okay? And it went to half the screen, okay, 50%. But now what we need to do is we're going to transform, of course. Transform, translate on the x-axis the size of minus 50%. So this minus 50%, it's 50% of the size of the image. So I'm moving the image half of the left of the screen, and then I'm just going to translate it in minus half the size of the screen. So like this, it's always centered. So if I can play around in here, for example, as you can see, it's always centered, okay? So this is a good technique, you know, to use, you know, to center divs that are absolute, okay, in the region. So we already have the coach greeting us here to greet us, okay? But so let's just take this, okay? Let's just copy paste this, and let's go to our style here and just add here. So I'm going to just add a small section here saying coach, you know. Okay, and I've got my coach wrapper and my coach. Okay, now what I want to do also is I want him to greet me. So nothing is static, right? Just appearing, it's no fun. So let's start animating things. Okay, so let's use one of the OutSystems UI components, that is the Animate. And in here, let's just add here this, and let's animate the image. So let's put the image inside. Okay, on the animation type, we can select a different bunch. Let's just select fade in. Let's keep delay and speed to the defaults. Okay. So what should happen when I open now my browser? So and I refresh the application. So I'm going to see my coach coming here to the screen, you know, and just greeting me, you know, for the I'm going to remove all of this, okay? It's just for us for now to see this. So as you can see, it just appeared, right? And it just faded in really nice into the screen. Now, the next thing that I want to do is to as soon as it appears, it move him, to a less to a place where it takes less, um, less amount of space in the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start developing that. Now, what I want also, let's just start here anew. Okay. What I want to do is I want to do that, but I don't want it to just flip. So let's do that. So not image circle, sorry, image coach. Okay, the image coach. Now what do I want to do? I want to take him to the left. Okay, I'm gonna take him here. I'm gonna just say that the transform translate x is gonna be translate was gonna be 0. Okay, cool. Now what I want to do also is, okay, my width, I don't want it so big, right? I can just 80 pixels will be enough. Okay, so I want to move from what I had to this one. Okay, and again, I don't want to do this statically, I want to do this dynamically. So a technique is to add another class. Okay, it can be the class that you can name it. Naming is always the hardest part in developing, right? So the image coach, I'm going to say that this class, this is only applied when the div is image coach and is animated. Okay, so as you can see, I changed this and now my coach is not animated at all, right? So if I come here and I had animated, you see that it changed, right? Okay, oops. I don't know what I did. Let's see if I didn't lose that. No, I didn't. Okay, cool. Now, what we want to do is we don't want to do this, in such a hard way. Let's do it with the transition. So to do that, what we can use is a property in CSS that is the transition. Okay, now the transition tells the browser how do I want the attributes to transition. So first of all, I can select just one or all the attributes. I could say that just the transform would change or just the width would have this transition. So I'm going to say all for now. Okay, now I need to specify the time. So I'm going to say it's going to take, let's say 1 second, and I can say if it is, with how much, what would be the pattern of the transition. You can start faster and end it slow. You can do it in a constant way. So let's just say it's his. We can talk a little bit more about this, but the important is to have these attributes. Now, let's test this. So if I come here and I just say that this is this, right? When I say that now this is animated, as you can see, it's going to be animating and moving from one position into the one. Okay. So let's just copy this into here, and let's see how now we interact or we integrate all of this CSS logic with OutSystems and servicestudio. Okay, so we have already this here. Now, what we have to do on our home screen is let's create a class here that's going to go is animated. It's coach animated. Okay, and it's going to be a boolean. And what this is going to do? So I have the image coach here. I have this circle, and I'm going to say if is coach animated. I'm going to add also the animated class. If not, well, oops, it doesn't, right? Cool. So now, how do I do this? So how do I connect? Because if you are you looking at this? We first fade in, and I don't want to fade and animate at the same time. Okay. So let's now rely on our good friend JavaScript to do this. Okay. So there is one thing that is this animation that we have created here using the OutSystems UI. We can use this animation and collect the event or add an event listener to the on animation end, and that's what we're going to do to capture, and after that, only that, we animate the coach. Okay, so let's just give it a name. Okay, let's just call it coach animation. Yeah, coach animation, or coach fade in. Sorry to be it's better to use this name because I'm going to remember it better. Okay, and on the on ready, okay, on the event here, I have my on ready event. Cool. So in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the JavaScript block. Okay, and I'm going to write some JavaScript. Now, what I need to do is, first of all, I'm going to get, so let's say constant, okay, let's say coach, right, equals document get element by ID, right? And the ID, it will come from the parameter because I want to have the coach fade in widget ID, okay? So I'm gonna get this one. Well, as soon as I have it, pardon me for not checking if this is not undefined and stuff like that. I know this is probably not best practice in JavaScript, but I'm gonna add, the event listener. So the event listener that I'm gonna call is the animation end, right? It's here, right? And I'm gonna call a function, right? And the function that I'm going to call, I'm gonna use this way of calling functions. It's gonna be a function that I haven't created yet. What's gonna be that? So I'm gonna create a function here that's gonna be called show coach. Okay, the show coach will just set this is animated to true. Okay, let's say so coach. Okay, cool. So now going back to the onReady, to my JavaScript, I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna just show the coach. Cool. Nice. And also now just to publish, so I have the coach fade in widget ID. So a tip, when you use widget ID as an input parameter, on the suggestions, everything that's in the widget as a name, as here the suggestion. So it's really fast, to find what you want to use. So coach fade in widget ID, coach fade in. Okay, let's just publish this. And let's see what happens. Hopefully, when I open my screen, I will be greeted by the coach on that's kind of zoomed, and he's just gonna be, zooming out and moving out of the way until it gets to a nice, cozy corner in the left. So let's see if that's gonna happen. So it's gonna be deployed. It is right now. So let's just check. It's been published, and whoops, maybe it was too fast. Let's see what happened. Okay, so it faded in, right? And then after when it ended, it just, ran the other animation. Okay. Great. Okay. So now that we have done this, why want my coach also to to give me a message here on the side? So let's just do that. Okay. So to do that, on the onReady, okay, let's just say add animation handlers. Just so this has a name. Okay, cool. So let's create here now. We have, the coach, right? So now what I need to do also is I need to create here another container. Okay. That I'm going to say that, okay, it's going to be a sibling here. And this container, I'm just going to call it, let's say it's coach main message. Okay. And also the coach main message, I wanted, to have some space, but now I don't want the space to go out. I want the space to be inside. So instead of using margin base, I'm just going to say padding base. Okay. This way it will be on the inside that will gain space. So what I'm going to write here, something like, hey there. Let's type it here, something like, hey there. I don't know. It's always the hard part. Something like ready to improve. Oops, your paddle skills. Maybe your paddle just what do you want to do next? Okay, so I can choose what I'm going to do next. Okay, so this is the the message. Okay, let's just me publish this real quick again, so I can go and change some of the stuff that I want to change on my on the DevTools. Okay, here we go. Here it is. And okay, cool. So the main message, right? What I want to do is let's just add the class here again, and well, what I want to, if you've seen what I did on the background of my image, that's what I want to do also here. But first, let's just do something. Let's just size it. So position. Okay, I'm just going to say it's going to be position. I'm going to say it's absolute, right? Oh, come on. Position absolute. Okay. Now also what I'm going to say is that my width, it's going to be let's say I want to be 100% minus, in this case I want to just have a little space to breathe, and what I'm going to do also is I'm going to say that this is on the right, okay, on the right side, and yeah, it's a little bit low, right? Let's just add a little bit of top here. Okay, negative topic will go up, right? And now, okay, let's start working on the, well, we can say that the background color, right? It can be RGBA. Let's call it again 255, 255, 255, and let's say that is 0.1. Okay, so it looks like this nice shade. Let's also say that the color, the border radius first. Okay, the border radius. Let's say that the border radius is, let's say I want to have 10 pixel. Okay, but we can look at the borders here. Let's see if there's a variable here. Border cycle, border size. No, where is that rounded part of thingies? Border radius none, border radius soft. Well, soft is also a little bit, it's not that good, right? Okay, so let's keep for now. I probably what I should do is I should create a variable with this size, and change it. So we can do that. Okay, the border radius, and also what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the color. Okay, the color here can be, now instead of white, I can just use the color neutral 0. Okay, and I'm going to say also the font size. In this case, I can say let's check if there's here for the typography. Let's see if there's anything for bold. I can say I can see it's font bold if I use the 700. Okay, let's just add here 700, but then I will do it in another way. Font weight 700. Okay, cool. Now, what should I do more? Border radius, font size. I think it's pretty much this. Okay, cool. Now, let's just copy paste really quick, and before I lose this and someone has a heartbreak. So let's just open here. Let's just add our coach main message. Okay, so if you remember border radius, I'm going to say border. I'm going to create my own variable, radius base. Okay, I'm going to say this is 10 pixel. Okay, and I'm going to say that the var here, it's going to be that. Okay, so I'm doing this, because if I want to change it, I just need to change one place. Now I'm going to remove this from here, And on my class main, right, padding base, I'm just gonna say also that what was on the OutSystems UI, I already forgot, it's font bold. Okay, cool. Ah, come on. Always clicking where I shouldn't have clicked. Okay, cool. Now we have this. Now let's just do one more thing, that is, just, is talking, right? So let's make this a balloon, right? So to do that, let's just go here to Bubbly, okay? And on Bubbly, let's just say that we want like this and maybe like this, right? And well, let's do this for now, okay? So let's just copy this really quick into here, right? And what I'm going to do is on the coach main message, if you see, we have here the pseudo class after, okay, and on the after I have this. Now on the color, if I use this, it will be this color, but I don't want to do that, right? I'm just gonna do this. And now let's just change this a little bit because it's a little bit annoying, I'm sorry. On the border, I think we can make this a little bit small, but let's just check. So let's just publish this and to see how it looks like. Okay, we already have it here in the preview, but let's see how this how this rolls. Okay, cool. So let's open this. Let's just really quick refresh this. Okay, as you see, okay, it's here, right? And I think it's a little bit big. Okay, so let's just just try to reduce this a little bit. I don't know, maybe 14. Oops. Okay, now I think this is cool. Yeah, it is. So let's just put here 14 instead of that. Okay, it was here and I think it was here, right? Okay, now as you've seen, this will, right, this will also be appearing. We need to do the same logic, right? It needs to, I need the dialogue, I want the dialogue to end up when when someone, yeah, Ricardo is asking, can the dialogue show up only when the animation finishes? Right, correct. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to do this the same way or similar to the same way that we did the other. Okay, so I'm just gonna create a new variable here, like it's image showing. Okay, and not image, sorry, it's message showing, right? Okay, cool. This message is showing. So I'm going to do the same. So anything that is around here, this container will, enclose in an if, and I'm going to say if is message showing, right? So if not, if it is, then it will show the container. Now let's create a new action that is show message, right? And the show message, what we'll do is I'm going to set the variable is message showing to true, right? So show message, cool. Okay, now what we need also to do is we need to find the handler. So we have the coach, right? The coach has the animation hand, right? But also we can add here the animator, right? No, the transition. So on the coach, right, I'm gonna add my event listener. Okay, so when my transition end, okay, also I want to execute something. So this is what I want, you know, this is what I want to do. And I want to show the message. Okay. And also the message. Now what I can do is I can add a message, you know, inside an animation, and I can fade it, right? And I'm just gonna fade. Okay, now this is an if inside the animate. Okay, so to keep my preview a little bit clean, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna add here something like on my miss. So if you use this Service Studio, okay, you can change your variable. So this on the width, I don't know, let's say 200. Okay, let's see what happened here. Okay, and on Service Studio, on my, I don't know, left, let's say 30. Let's see what happens. Yeah, okay, let's just, you know, just give it a little more space. No, not so much. Okay, cool. So if you see this is not going to be rendered. So when the platform renders the, you know, the CSS or creates a CSS, all of this that is prefixed with Service Studio, it won't show. Okay, so this is helpful. Let's just publish this real quick, and let's see this in action. Okay. Now let's wait for this to publish. And let's see if we manage, you know, to be able to make this all come together, right? Okay, cool. It is appearing and it is showing something, right? Now, let's just load this again. Okay, it goes, it moves. It's cool. Okay, so now I want to, you know, to give it a little bit of more of a touch here, right? So what I want is, you know, for the letters to appear writing, you know, not just, you know, just appearing it. Okay, so I'm gonna use, we don't need Bubbly. Okay, so I'm gonna use the typewriter effect. Okay, and it's a cool CSS effect that you know, does this kind of animation if it's a typewriter. Okay, so I'm just gonna go here to the code pen because it's easier to see this in the code pen. Where is that? Okay, let's open this on the code pen. Okay, we got this here, right? So we have a span, and inside the span you have these definitions, and something important is that we have a variable, and this variable here depends on the amount of words that you have. Okay, so let's use this. Okay, so really quick. So first things first, this needs to be inside the span. How do I do that? So I just come here and I will I'm gonna just have an HTML component. Okay, inside this. Okay, and this is a span, and inside this I'm gonna add this here. Okay, and the span, what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna add this information here. Okay, now, sorry, I just got a little bit lost, but I know what I want to do. So I got this container, right? And what I want to do is I'm gonna use what I have got here from my code pack. Okay. So what do I need? I need to copy this, all of this. As you can see, I have a question here. Being text, won't the platform generate a span? That's a very good question. I don't think so. I don't think I think it only generates a span if you have an if around the text, but we can check that. We can inspect the HTML that's going to be produced. So let's head here. Now on the coach main message, okay, let's say that this will be what happens inside that coach main message, but we want this to be on animated, okay? Let's use also the animated, okay? Now, what we want to do is we want to change this a little bit because we don't want this to, to appear in this with these colors, right? We want this to be a little bit different, right? So we want the color to be white, right? So if it's white that we want, let's use var color text neutral. Oops, not color text. It's gonna be color neutral 0. Okay. And also on this. Okay, cool. Now we have this, right? So let's test this, okay, to see what is going to happen. So one of the things that we need is to have the var n. So let me just do that before. Okay, so when we are going to show the message, right, on the onReady, I know that I want to have something like I need, I need to define this n, right? So to define this n, what I need to do is I need to come here, and when I'm going to show the message, right? I'm going to show the message. The message will appear, right? And after that, I can run here my a little bit of piece of my JavaScript, okay? And here, what I need to do is I need to get my document or the message. Constant message will be document.query get element by ID. Sorry, I'm gonna get my ID. It's gonna be my message widget ID. And what I'm going to do is on my message, I'm going to say on style, I'm going to set the property, okay, the -n, -n, and I'm going to say that, oh, come on, the value here is going to be my message dot inner text dot length, okay? So with this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set on this variable n with the size of the text that that I have, okay? Now on the element by ID, I need to pass this, of course. And on the message widget ID, I don't have nothing here. So let me just come here and call this, or coach message. Okay, cool. Now, here we go. And I'm just gonna coach message ID. Okay. So let's just publish this. Okay, and let's see if this is working. Okay, it's already published. Let's go here. And here we go. It appeared, right? But now, what do I need to do? I need to come here to cling to the message, and let's say that this is animated. Okay, this is very big. This is because this is being applied to the CSS being applied into the div and not into the span. Okay, so let's change that a little bit, really quick. So on my CSS, okay, because the div is all the line and the span is each independent line. So this, I'm saying that this is animated, but I want this, you know, to be on the spine. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's just publish this. Well, I can do this before I publish. I can do this really quick. So what I need to do is after this, right? What I need to do also, it's message, right? Because it's my message. On the class list, I can add. So this is a different way to add classes. Remember, on the first, I added the animated with the variable in using, you know, OutSystems logic, client logic. But now I'm going to just use the JavaScript, so you can see the difference between how to set up that animated in JavaScript or using the OutSystems client-side variables. So here we go. And okay, cool. So now it's writing, right? It's writing, and it's writing first really slow, right? And it's writing, it's the caret, for example, it's very thick. So let's just quickly change that. Okay. So what I need to do is in here, I just need, you know, to come here, and the size, let's just make it 10 times faster. Okay, because this is the time that the animation is taking. And then that caret, it's this value here of this gradient. So let's just move this, you know, I know, something more, I don't know, like 2. Okay, cool. Well, let's just publish this again, and let's see the final result. And I hope I haven't made you fall asleep. With this, we're trying to do a lot of things here. Cool. Now here we go, and yeah, okay, it's a little bit faster. Okay, and the caret also, it's a little bit better, right? So yeah, as you see, we got the animation. It's gonna fade in, and then it's gonna just show the message. Okay, cool. Now we could do more stuff. Okay, but what I want to show is how can we change. You remember we had that list with the matches. And what I want to do, so in this screen, we'll have here now 2 actions. So it's going to be 2 blocks, okay, or 2 cards. One is to register a game that you have already played. And the other one is going to be to, you know, to prepare, you know, for the next match. This is why we have this. But you can always go look for the history. So what we want to do, you know, there's a drawer pattern that I want to implement here, that I want to, you know, just scroll like we have the menu on the side coming in. I want to do something from the same from the bottom to the top, but that is called that's called not a slide menu. It's going to be a drawer. Let's call it a drawer. Okay, so let's implement that and see how we can do that here. So let's take a look at that. How are we going to do that? So first of all, we're going to create the drawer, right? And the drawer is just going to be, you know, moved inside here. It's just going to be moved, and we will use translate, you know, to move it around while we drag it with our finger. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Okay, let's start with the first thing first. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create that drawer. First, let me take this, because this is creating me a lot of, I really don't like this here. So let me just see. Okay, so I need to, you know, on the content, I just need to put overflow hidden. Okay, because that thing there is driving me crazy, and I really don't like to see that there. So header, okay, on the content, well, this is probably, I should write it this better, right? But the overflow Y is going to be hidden. Okay, cool. Now let's do that. Okay, now that I've gone through all of that, let's just, you know, add the drawer here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a container, and that container is going to be in here, right? And that container is going to be called well, let's say this is the, the drawer wrapper. Let's give it an original name. So drawer wrapper. Okay, cool. So we have the drawer wrapper. And okay, so the drawer wrapper will be the will take the entire position of the screen when it's open. Okay, so to do that, let's just let's create inside the rest of the things that we need. So the drawer, okay, it will need an handler, right? So this is going to be it's going to create an handle. Okay, so I'm going to just call this the drawer handle. Okay, and this handle is where we're gonna display the thing that you can drag. Okay, and after that, what we want to do also is we want to show something like the like the number of, or like a title. Okay, so let's just put something like this. Well, this is not a very good preview, right? So let's just, okay, this is not good preview. So let's just insert a text here real quick. Let's say that this is, okay, recent matches. And I'm going to use CSS next, to. And for the rest, this, how much columns does this have? 6. How much does this have? 6. No, let's say that this has 8. And this one here has 4. And on this one, we can get, like, let's say the text. For example, I don't know, 8 matches, because it's the ones that we have on the database. Okay, oops, not here. Okay. Okay, now this is a big mess, so let's try to do better. Okay, let me just publish this so I can, on the UI, do something a little bit better here. Okay. Okay, so I'm not available for new jobs. Thank you very much for asking. Although I really like this front end part. Okay, so let's start. Doing something here more interesting. Okay, so first time that we do that. Okay, so drawer wrapper or drawer wrapper. Okay, so first things first, let's say that this will have position absolute. Okay, that's cool. Now I want to have like I said, I want to do this to fill everything. So the width will be 100%, the height will be 100%, and my z index will be, I want it to be on top of everything. Okay, also I want to have my background color. Okay, let's look at the color scheme. Okay, let's use this one. Okay, my background color, I should use variables for this. Okay, I'm just not going to use now because I'm being a little bit lazy here. Okay, cool. I have this, and and yeah, well, this should be transform, translate y, a lot, right? Okay, so this should be content wrapper. Okay, this shouldn't be here, this should be okay, this shouldn't be here. That's why it's not looking good. I was wondering why is it stuck in here. So let's just come here to Service Studio really quick. Coach wrapper. Yeah, no, this needs to be a coach wrapper. A coach wrapper sibling, you know, not inside the coach wrapper. Okay, let's just put here so we don't lose the drawer. Okay, let's go move here. Drawer. I don't know if it's drawer that you spell like that, but I'll use it for now. Okay. So I got the background color. I've got this. Let's see how it looks like. Okay. Let's just take a good look and see if now it's a little bit better, because it was not. Yeah. Okay. Now it's better. Okay. Now it's way better. Although it's not good, right? But it's better. So I'm gonna say also that my border radius is going to be, I don't know, let's say I had a variable, right? What was it? Border radius base, right? So I can have that border radius. I can have that border radius also, and well, I want this, you know, let's just say for now that we don't want to transform, we just wanted to put here. And if we say that we have top 0, it will go, but there's a space here, so let's just use, you know, type top like this. Okay, cool. Now we already have our drawer, right? So we need to start working on the drawer in order to be able, you know, to move it. So as you can see, the translate epsilon here will be the key, you know, to move this. Okay, so to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to create a variable, and that's the variable that we're going to change while we, you know, drag the drawer. So we'll get some touch events, you know, we'll get the drawer, the how much we're dragging, and we're going to move it depending on that. So I'll show you. I think it's better to show than to be trying to explain too much. So in this case, let's call it, you know, a variable. Let's create a new variable that's going to be the drawer in epsilon. No, y, no, y, not epsilon, y. And that's the variable that we are going to change. Okay, so let's just, I have my handle. Okay, just let's give it here also some color to the handle, right? Because I have the handle here. My handle, I'm just gonna say that my handle, it's also gonna be, you know, well, I think I don't even, yeah, let's use the after on this. Okay. You know, I just want to have a, you know, I just want to have a little place there that we can drag. Okay, so we're gonna say that this has a content on the after. Okay, now we're gonna say that this is, you know, that this has I don't know, with, let's say 20%. Okay, oops. Let's say that the height, I'm as soon as this appears on the screen, you're gonna understand what I'm doing. Okay, and my background color can be let's say RGBA 255 255 255 0.1. Okay, drawer wrapper. Okay, why isn't this showing the drawer wrapper? I have content. Okay, or maybe it's where it is. So let's check position. Absolute. Top, I don't know, 15%, 15 pixel. Okay, why is this not showing? Because I'm not doing it on the right place. I'm doing it on the handle. Sorry. Did I lose everything I was writing? Okay, let's just go really quick. Okay. No, this is on the, oh, sorry. Just trying to figure out why is this not appearing. So on the drawer wrapper, my drawer wrapper already has, okay, my drawer handle. Is it my Z index? No, it's not. Okay, interesting. I was expecting, to see something here that we could just drag. This is on my drawer wrapper after. This is my position absolute, width, height, background color. What is that? It's below that. Okay, let's just give it left 50%. Transform. Translate X minus 50 so we can center it. Okay. This is not showing, so instead of after, let's do this before. Put something in the content. Okay. Okay, why isn't this? Come on. Okay. Sorry, I had the color was minus. Okay, here it is. Well, it's very faded, right? So let's do something a little bit more visible, right? I know, something like this, right? Okay. Now let's say here border radius. This could be my var, border radius base. Okay, cool. Okay, now it's looking better, right? Okay, here we go. Okay, cool. Now let's just add that here so we don't lose that. Okay. Okay, now here it is. Now I have my handle, and also I'm gonna get my. Okay, let's just. We have these two here. Okay, now this one here. Let's just say that this one is gonna be margin. Margin base, and also margin top Excel. So this is going really down here. Okay, cool. Now let's start moving the handle. So first things first, what I need to do is I need to change my variable in order for it to start on the end. So on the onReady, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get constant my drawer. It's going to be document get element by ID. Okay, it's going to be my drawer widget ID. Okay, cool. And as soon as I get this drawer, what I'm going to do is I'm going to define this, saying that the drawer dot style set property. It was drawer y, right, or was minus, right? And what should be the size of this? So it should be the document query selector. Let's say for the content, the size of that content and it should appear, you know, minus 100. Okay, so doing this, just give me a name to my drawer. Drawer. Okay, now giving this to my drawer, I'm going to say that my drawer object ID is this one. Okay, let's just publish this. So now when this opens, right, it should come up with just on the end of the screen, but with 100 pixel, you know, from the bottom. So let's see if this is what happened. Okay, it didn't. Why? Because, oh, not a number. Very interesting. A very interesting number. Not a number. Why is not a number? Because I did something really wrong. And what did I did wrong? Let's look at it. Document query selector. Ah, of course, dot something, right? So on the content, I need to get my offset height, right? So I was getting the object, right, of the HTML, and I wasn't giving it the height. I was just, you know, just using the object. That's why the result here was NaN. That means not a number in JavaScript. Again, it didn't work. Why? Because it's not 500. It's like this. And maybe it's not because of this. Minus not like this. It's var. Oh, come on. Yeah, so it's too many mistakes in the same. So this needs to be offset height 100 plus pixel, okay? And on the CSS, right? This needs to be not like this, right? Not this, but come on, var and this, okay? So many mistakes in just one small feature. That's hard. Okay, so now that we got this, let's just open this, okay? Well, here it is. Now, what we could do, or we should do, right, it's to animate this. I'm not gonna take time this because we're already a little bit late, right, on the schedule. So I'm not gonna do that in this session. I'll do it in the next one. But now I have here the drawer wrapper, right? And now I have here my my drawer handle, okay? So what I want to do is I'm gonna get the drag that we got here from the from dragging this, okay? So how am I going to do that? So first things first, let me just change, you know, I said this was margin base, right? But I'm gonna say that it's padding base, and this is also padding, okay? Because I want to use, you know, the handle here, okay? Now to use the handle, what I need to do to drag it, I'm just gonna get it's not the drag event. What's that? The name of the component? Let me just check here if we have that on the OutSystems UI. We have a component for that. That is the touch events. Come on, it's the touch events. Okay, let's just add this, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these touch events here on my content. And the touch events, the target will be that handle, okay? Not the drawer, because the drawer will have the list inside, okay? So it needs to be on the handle itself. Okay, so on the handle, I'm gonna add these touch events. And I'm gonna have the on start. Okay, I'm gonna have the on move. And I'm gonna have the end. Cool. Okay, so what are we going to do on this? So on the on start, let's not do anything for now. Okay. On the move, what do we have? As soon as we start moving, we are gonna get these variables: the x, the y, where you are touching. But mainly, the most important one that we want, it's the offset. It's the offset y. Okay. So now what we need to do is let's run some JavaScript here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my constant draw, my drawer. That's going to be document without get element by ID. Okay, that's going to be the drawer widget ID. Okay. And okay, and I'm gonna get the drawer. Now, what am I going to do with this? Okay, so I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check what will be the position of the y, right, where I need to have this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say on the drawer dot style, I'm just gonna set the property minus drawer y, right? And in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a value, right? Let's call this value the new y, okay? Okay, and this new y, what I'm going to do with this new y, okay? So let new y be what? My position where I had the where I had the drawer and just had the offset. So the offset will be positive or negative depending if you're going up or down, right? So we just always need to add that. Okay. So what we're going to do is we need an initial variable, an initial position. Okay. Okay, on this initial position, we're going to say it's an integer. Okay, and this is going to be my initial position plus my offset y. Okay, offset y. Okay, and my offset y, it's also going to be an integer. Okay. Okay, now with this said, let's just come here, and so the drawer widget ID is going to be the drawer. The offset y, it's easy, right? It's the offset y that I get from this, right? And but the initial position, okay, let's just come here to the home and add the initial position. So the initial position, initial position is the position that I get when it starts, right? So on the onReady, we're just gonna say that we have here initial position. Okay, and see this value that we are adding here. We're gonna say that this initial position, it's that value. Okay, we can add that here. Okay, and on the outside, well, actually it needs to be an int, so everything is it's okay. Now on the outside, I need to set my initial position with what I got from my JavaScript. Okay, and okay, so I'm gonna use my initial position here. Oops, come on. Okay, so in initial position, it's integer. Sorry, this is also an integer. So let's recap. On start, I get the position where I have the drawer, and on the move, as soon as I'm moving, I'm just adding, that offset to the initial position, and the drawer will move because I'm changing that variable y. Okay, that's on the translate. So let's see if this is working or not. Okay, so I'm just gonna refresh real quick. I'm gonna touch this, and I'm gonna drag. Okay, it's dragging. Okay, because that's the logic that we are doing. Okay. Now what happens is that I can push this more than the top, and I can push this more than the bottom. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to establish, the boundaries. Okay. Okay, let's do that really quick. So, let's say if we have this, right? So the new y, it's this value, right? Now, if the new y, right, it's let's say it's to go for the for the top, right? If the new y is lower than 0, right, or smaller than 0, then new y it's going to be equals 0. So this will have the limit for the top. Now the limit for the bottom is if new y, okay, let's have here const down limit. Okay, that's going to be document.get query selector. Okay, let's use the content, right? The offset height minus 100. Remember that's what we used. Okay, so the down limit, if this is bigger than the down limit, then the new y is going to be the down limit. Okay, it doesn't matter what we're doing. If we're passing the boundaries, we're gonna block it, and this property won't change, and so the translate it won't change also. Okay. Okay, let's try this. Okay, now I can drag, right? And I can't drag any more than this. Okay, and I can't drag any more lower than this. Okay, cool. Okay, now we have almost our drawer, right? Now, the question is when I drop this, when I release it, what's gonna happen? Okay, so we are going to do that. So what's going to happen? That's what we're going to do. Okay, so one of the things that we need to do is to create also a new concept here that is on the draw wrapper. Let's create a new class also that is the opened. Okay, the opened. Okay, what does the open means? The open means that that it's open, right? But let's also do some other thing that is the animated. Okay, let's animate the let's animate let's animate the wrapper. Okay, what does this mean is that so we can create a new animated. Okay, because if we draw, sorry, I'm not explaining myself. If I drop here, I want it to open, but if I want to drop it here, I want it to go to the bottom. So as soon as I release, I want this to get animated, and I want this to be animated and go to the place where it should go. Okay, so let's see how to do that. Okay, so on touch end. Okay, so I need to do something. So when I remove my finger, right, I need to do something to my drawer. Okay, so let's just draw widget ID. Okay, I'm gonna say that my constant draw, it's gonna be document get element by ID. Okay, cool. I have my drawer here. Now let's do some logic. Okay, so whatever happens, I want it to when I release my button, my finger, I want it to go up or to go down. Okay, So first things first, I want the drawer to class list to add animated. Okay, so I want it to be animated, and I'll say what is that. Okay, so one of the things that I need also, it's my initial position. Why do I need this? Because I need to understand if we're trying to open or if we're trying to close the drawer. Okay, so if, right, if the initial position, right, it's 0, right, it means that I am on closing, right? Because if the initial position is 0, it's all open, so it means that I'm closing. Okay, okay, closing. Okay, so if it's on that position, okay, now what I'm going to check, so I'm going to check how much offset do I have. Okay, okay, so what I'm going to do is my offset. So if right, if my offset, right, it's bigger than 100, right, it means that I'm closing. It means that I'm trying to close. If my offset is bigger than 100, I already pushed it enough, you know, to close it. So I'm just going to say here, just close. Okay, what does this mean, close? So when I have to close, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go to drawer, I'm gonna go to the style, and I'm going to the set property, right, the drawer Y, and I'm just gonna say that this is going to be the document get the content, the selector. Okay, content is always high or height. Maybe you could do this with a variable. Probably it would be easier. I already wrote this a million times. So on the offset height minus 100. Okay, so it's gonna bring it down. Okay, and it's gonna bring it down. It needs to do also plus px. Okay, it's gonna bring it down, and yeah, that's what I want to do. Also, right, I want to store the new initial position, okay, when I end this. Okay, integer. Okay, cool. So now what I'm going to do is this one. It's going to be this stuff. Okay, I can actually change this to be more readable, right? I'm just gonna remove here, add here, and okay, cool. And that's it. Okay. Okay, so this is what I need. I need to close. If not, I need to open. Okay. What does open mean, right? Let's just look at this. Open means that I'm going to, my initial position will be 0, right? Because it's going to be stay all open. And on the drawer, this will be 0 pixel. Okay. Cool. Now on the other way around, closing. Else. Now the advantage here is that I'm gonna copy paste stuff. So else, if I'm not closing, I'm opening, right? So if I'm opening, what should I check? If I'm opening, I should check the other way around. So if this is less than minus 100, it means that I've pushed up a little bit. So the y, it's getting smaller. That's why it's negative. So it is smaller than minus. I'm going to open the drawer, right? So I'm going to open the drawer. I'm just going to copy paste this really quick because I'm going to open. Okay, else I'm going to close. Cool. So here we go, close. It's going to be this one, right? Okay. Now, drawer widget ID, drawer widget, initial position, offset Y, offset Y. Cool. Now, what I also need to do is I'm going to set my initial position from what I got, from my JavaScript, new initial position. Okay, and that's almost done. Remember something on the touch start? So when I drop, I'm adding here this class animated, okay? So on the start, what I need to do is I need to remove it, or else it will be really clunky, the movements. So on the start, I'm just gonna write this right now. I'm gonna do this, and instead of adding, I'm just gonna, remove. Oops. No, not remove that much. Just remove this, okay? Now I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna close, and I'm gonna say drawer. Okay, and it's almost done. So the only thing I need to do is that dot animated. What will that do, right? So everything is being controlled by that variable. I don't need to worry about that a lot, right? But what I need to do is, oh, come on the draw wrapper, I'm going to do the animated here. And on this one, I'm just gonna say that my transition, it's gonna be on my transform, okay? Because I'm just moving, I'm just changing here, right? This transform, and I want to move on 600 milliseconds with ease. Okay, so as soon as I release my finger, it will flow into the last position. So let's check that. Okay, let's see if this works. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see how it goes. Okay, it's reloaded. Okay, I don't think we have any rare JavaScript errors yet. Well, maybe I need to see what happened there, but okay, so I'm dragging, and I'm gonna drop, and it opened. Cool. Now I'm gonna close, and I'm just gonna close a little bit, and oh, not a number on the touch event, so there's an error here. But okay, let's just go there real quick on the touch end. What am I doing wrong? Okay, on the new initial position, that's a number. That's set property on pixel. That's 0. That's 0. So it's not opening, right? The problem is that this is not. Maybe, yeah. I don't know how to type offset height. Yeah, I don't know how to type offset height. Yeah. So you not only need to be a developer, but you need to know how to write height in order to be able to do these kind of animations. So here we go. Let's just open this again. So let's just open a little bit. It goes back. See, now if I just pass this threshold, it will open. The same here. Oh, maybe this threshold is smaller. Okay, I need to check why this threshold here. It's not. It's really small, but at least you can see that now, this is working, and we just created this animation. So all we need to do now is, to create the list inside here, and I'll do that really quick because now it's being a long time. So let's just add the query here. And what I'm going to show you is that I'm just going to get, my matches. Yep, here we go. On here, I'm gonna drag my matches here after the, yeah. And well, there's a lot of expressions here. I'm just gonna, on the home. So I'm not gonna put this on my theme, right? I just want to say that my, my list item, it's gonna be background color transparent. And well, let's leave it for now. Okay, cool. So now I can change this a little bit better, right? So I'm not gonna lose too much time in here for now. Let's just say that I have this. I have the started on. I don't want nothing else, right? I just want this and the started on. I just want, the month and then the day, and then I don't want, and then I want, the hours and the minutes. Okay. And let's just publish these. And with this, well, we could always improve this a little bit. I think we can do that in the next section. So this is taking way longer than I thought that it would take. So this proves that doing front end, it's never easy. It's always, oops, I just lost my login. I'm here, okay. I got this, and now, I'm just gonna drag and drop this, and it's stuff. It's here, okay. So it's a little bit better than what we had when we started, right? So if you remember, it was that simple scaffolding, and now we have something a little bit more elaborate, okay? So we took a lot, but summarizing, so we have created animations, so let's check it. It opens, shows the code, it just moves it to the left, a little bit smaller, it shows the message, like a typewriter, and we managed to create, here a draggable drawer that when you release it will open, and we show you information about the matches that you have. So there's a lot more to do, but that will be on another session. So thank you so much for the ones that stayed strong until this time. This took a little bit more time than I was expecting. I think it's a good lesson, at least for me, to understand that I shouldn't overrate my front-end skills. So I hope you enjoyed, and this will be published in the YouTube playlist, and all the code that is being shared here will be sent also to the GitHub repo for this project. Hope you have a great night. Thank you very much, or a great day, depending where you are, and hope to see you soon. So bye bye everyone. Thank you.